This Andromeda thing just isn't going away. What is it that we really expect out of this project, though?
Los ángeles esperarán. Es el fuego que yo.
What is the deal, beautiful people? My name is Ramon. This is Lifestyles Defined, and on this channel we talk tech all day, every day. Right now we're talking about my favorite company and one of my not so favorite topics, the Andromeda device, or the Surface Mini, or the Carrier Next, whatever the hell you want to call this thing. The rumors about this device have been flailing in the wind for so long, and I feel like every time I hear it, it's hopscotch. One rumor goes this way, it's happening. The other rumor goes this way, it's not happening. So as it stands today, Mary Jo Foley came. She said, according to her sources, and you know Mary J. Foley is reputable in this Microsoft world, the project is on hold. Then Daniel from Windows Central came out and said, oh no, as far as I know, this thing is still on hold, and he said he saw a lot of it and he digs it and whatnot. So I don't know what to believe, but you guys have been hitting the inbox, you've been asking about it, so let's talk. According to the rumors and everything we know, this is a Surface device that's supposed to be pocketable, and the way it achieves that form factor is due to a fold-in display. 3 years ago, this may have sounded like some sort of magic that we'll never see, some crazy wild concept, but in today's world, Samsung is also, they got a few patents pending, and they're rumored to be releasing a device very similar to this form factor next year, and there's at least two other companies out there, two other OEMs who are doing the same. So I gotta believe that, okay, this is true. We're actually at this place now where the technology for foldable devices is ready and we can get the going. However, when it comes to Microsoft and what this particular product is, I still don't understand it. I don't get who's asking for this. This seems to be classic Microsoft, where they present these super dope solutions to problems that no one has. What I mean by this is, let's look on either side of the fence at what would be a pocketable Surface device. One, it would have to be, or it could be, a PC that scales the other direction. Why would I want a pocketable PC? We've already tried that, it doesn't work. The applications, Win32 applications, are not designed in a way to work and be mobile friendly. Very few of them are, in fact. I guess the default Microsoft stuff is yes. Some of the Adobe stuff is some of it. But I don't know, what is the name of that stupid game? Man, a lot of things just won't run. Okay, so that in itself is a problem. Then we look on the other side of the spectrum. We look at, okay, maybe it's this cross between your mobile phone, and then it goes back the other direction. What does that look like in terms of support from Microsoft? Microsoft can't support a mobile device to save their lives. And the proof is in the pudding when you look at Windows Phone. You can't expect these guys to release another product that relies on only the Microsoft App Store. There really isn't much going on in there, and they've been trying with the release of Windows 10, so many different iterations to the App Store. Like, no, that's not gonna happen. So why would I jeopardize my app ecosystem on my phone for a little bigger of a form factor, to go the other way, to not have apps? So that in itself doesn't make sense. So this leaves this Andromeda device in a very weird space. Looking at this device and the fans behind it who are crying for it, I feel like they aren't being fair. They aren't really thinking. And I'm asking you in the comment section, tell me, what would you want this device to be? Because I get the consensus that some people are looking for this to be an evolution of the PC. So they want the PC in a smaller, bite-sized version, and I'm telling you now, that's not gonna work. And then there's the other guys, again, as I explained, coming from the other direction. You know, this is not Microsoft doesn't have the clout. They don't have the volume, the numbers, they don't have the market share. Neither do they have the applications to make something like this happen from the mobile up. And if someone was to really make this happen, if someone was to blend that gray area between a tablet, something way more usable, and your cell phone, it would have been Apple, and they would have been able to do it a long time ago. And let's not get stuck on the dual screen thing, right? Because we still have, let's not discount the iPad mini, a very capable device. The iPad mini is, in all intents and purposes, what this device is sort of aspiring to be, with a dope form factor. Apple has not figured this out. The iPad is still, it's still dwindling. The sales are declining. The market's saturated, and it's just a larger phone, and that's not good enough. And if someone was to figure out how to really blend, give you that all-in-one device, that's your phone, that's your PC, that's your tablet, and it's small enough to fit in your pocket, Apple would have been able to do it. They have the hardware, they have the design team, they have the software, and they have the users, and they've got that church-like faith. And anything Apple does, people just adopt in droves. And Apple can't figure it out. So much so that Apple is still fumbling with touch bars on laptops and putting iOS apps on Mac. It's out of control. I gotta feel like this is a much more difficult thing to execute on, to blur the lines between traditional desktop, mobile, and tablet and have a really nice synergy. I think it's a lot more difficult than we think. And I wouldn't be mad at Microsoft if this thing never sees the light of day. But let's say it's an enthusiast thing. Okay, fine. It's for somebody like me, because I'm a Microsoft whore. Maybe you guys don't know that. But for someone like me, let's say it's 300 of us and we're on the couches screaming for Microsoft to give us a new toy. What would it take to really make this thing work, or be even worth the money? I mean, it's got to be around a $1,000 device for sure. Are you going to buy a $1,000 device that doesn't work with your phone or your apps? I don't think so. So what would it take to have this thing make sense? Well, for me, number one, we already know that it doesn't run traditional Win32 apps, so that's dead. And from what I'm being told, this is part of the reason the project's put on hold, is because Microsoft's aware of that, and they know they can't launch something that relies only on the Windows App Store. They know that's a weakness. So for me, Microsoft needs to just put Android on this thing and then skin the UI to hell. This is something they're very capable of. For so long I've been screaming for a Surface phone, and I've wanted them to make it Android and just put the goddamn tiles on top of it. There's no reason they can't recreate the functionality of the Android tiles. I'm sorry, of the Windows Phone tiles on Android. None whatsoever. I'm pretty sure they can do it. I mean, there's a bunch of Android launchers out there that already does it, so Microsoft can do it. The benefit you get of putting Android on this thing and pushing it out is, one, it's 1,000 times more relevant all of a sudden. Two, there's the Google Play Store, and there's all your stores, and there's your ecosystem, and that is the end of that. So essentially, Microsoft would be giving us super dope Surface hardware with Android. I don't see anything wrong with that. And a lot of what Microsoft is doing, there's that app that allows you to connect your Android phone, so you can essentially control the services you get on your Android phone on your PC. They can further that with the coming of this product. If your Surface Mini is running Android, and you got to make sure that it plays nice with Windows 10. And I feel like they're well on the way to creating that synergy. Just make it happen. If they do make it happen, I feel like this device would be Microsoft's way back into relevancy in the mobile world. Having Android at the helm, they could just get back in, just make super vanilla hardware, and everyone's happy. And you know who does a really good job at this? BlackBerry. Their phones come out and they've got some sprinkles of their own software in there to execute on their vision of how they think that business should be carried out on a smartphone. And then it's vanilla. It's nothing crazy like Samsung does with these heavy UIs. It's very vanilla, and it's all about the experience and what you need to get done, which was kind of the core Windows Phone, right? They can totally recreate that on Microsoft can totally recreate that. And this device would be their foot back into the game. So if they were to sell this device and people go, wow, this is dope, this is nice, this is a super nice tablet, super nice form factor. It's like a notebook, having a notebook in my pocket, but I can also still run Instagram and Facebook and Snapchat and we love it. And then a year later, they follow up with the Surface phone that we've been waiting for. All of a sudden, look who's back in the game, right? You don't always have to be, and that's the downfall of a lot of us Microsoft fans. We're looking for Microsoft to just, Windows, get in there. But Android could provide a way in that would make them an OEM and a relevant OEM, much like BlackBerry. So that's interesting to sort of think about. My last thought on this is, despite what we want, what we're crying for, I think Satya Nadella's direction is set in stone. He is looking past a world where you are physically tied to your device. He's betting big on the infrastructure behind the devices, which going forward will be the cloud, will be AI. That's where he wants to make his play. And for a lot of us Microsoft fans, that sucks because it's super boring. It's not very interesting at all. They continue to make a boatload of money in enterprise. And I feel like when the PC starts to really go away in mass, I don't think the PC will ever go away because you've got your enterprise, and you've got your creative people. But when the regular consumer no longer cares to go into a Best Buy and buy a $400 PC or a laptop, I think Microsoft will have been well in the age or the era where AI, is a big thing, and they're subletting that platform out to all the other players. And that will probably make up the revenue that would have been lost from Windows from Windows as a product. So I think it's clear to see where Microsoft is going. I think this is something that we should just give up on, because Satya kind of did, and he said, nah, we're out of here, we're done with this. I think it's interesting that a project like this was even still going on behind the scenes. I would love to see it, but I don't know. I'm at a weird space with Microsoft. I don't know what to expect from them. What I can say that I continue to be very happy about Microsoft is the products that I do use every day on whatever device I use. I'm all rock solid. In terms of innovation of the features of OneDrive and Office and all that stuff, it's all rock solid. So maybe that's who we are now. Maybe that's where Microsoft is, and we got to live with that. I don't know. I definitely want you guys to let me know what your thoughts are on this Surface Mini business. And if you're digging this video, here are 2 more recommendations for you. And right in the middle of those recommendations is that big subscribe button. Go ahead and click that so you're up to date with whatever new content we come out with. And as always, my name is Ramon, and I am out of here. Peace.